Bob Pearson died in 2015 at the age of 80. Heart failure, quiet and quick. At his funeral, 12 of the passengers from Flight 143 attended. They told stories about the moment they realized they were going to live. About watching their captain walk through the cabin afterward, checking on everyone, his face pale and drawn. About how grateful they were for every day they'd lived since. Maurice Quintal gave the eulogy. His voice broke as he spoke. Bob Pearson was the best pilot I ever flew with. He was also the hardest on himself. He spent 32 years thinking about 15 minutes. He saved 69 lives, and he never forgave himself for putting them at risk, even though it wasn't his fault. That's what made him a great captain. That's also what haunted him. In Bob's study, Martha found a journal he'd kept. The last entry, written 2 weeks before he died, read, Gimli, July 23, 1983. 69 souls. All safe. Thank God. But I still wonder what I missed. I'll always wonder. That's the truth about heroes that nobody talks about. The passengers from Flight 143 went home and lived their lives, grateful for a miracle. Bob Pearson went home and spent the rest of his life analyzing a mistake that wasn't his, carrying the weight of 69 lives that he'd saved but could never quite believe he deserved to save. The Gimli glider sits in a museum now. People tour it, touch the scarred nose where it scraped along the runway. Marvel at the story of the impossible landing. But nobody sees the cost. Nobody sees the captain who couldn't sleep. Who replayed those 15 minutes for 32 years. Who saved everyone and still felt like he'd failed. That's Bob Pearson's legacy. Not just the landing, but the burden. The reminder that sometimes the people we call heroes are the ones who can't forgive themselves for being human. For being part of a system that failed. For having to make a miracle when they'd rather have prevented the need for one. 69 people lived. One man never stopped reliving the moment they almost didn't.